Praga Avenue 1936–39. The Praga Avenue was developed in parallel to the Praga Golden due to a request from the Czechoslovak military for an all-terrain commander vehicle. The type designation Avenue, Alfa Vojenský equals military Alpha, is a bit misleading, as the technology had nothing to do with the Praga Alpha, but was in many respects similar to that of the Praga Golden. This was particularly true of the water-cooled 6-cylinder engine with 80 mm bore and 115 mm stroke, which developed 70 horsepower, 51 kilowatts, at 3,500 revolutions per minute. The chassis was, corresponding to the construction of a heavy off-road car at the time, 3-axle, both rear axles were driven, 6-4. The front wheels were individually on double wishbone suspended with coil springs, the rear wheels were guided on pendulum axles with cantilever leaf springs. The vehicle was 5.10 meters long and 1.75 meters wide, the wheelbase was 2.50 plus 0.92 meters. The car had space for 6 people. The gearbox had 3 forward and 1 reverse gears as well as an additional countershaft gear. The vehicle weighed 1740 empty and 2,200 kilograms loaded. The consumption was 28 liters of petrol and 0.3 liters of oil, 100 kilometers. The top speed was 92.5 kilometers, h. 30 vehicles were built in 1936, and a further 291 in 1937, for a total of 321 vehicles. At Spielberger, on the other hand, there is an indication of 389 vehicles delivered to the Czech Armed Forces. The latter number is often copied and taken over. Most of the vehicles were taken over by the Wehrmacht in 1939, but some vehicles that were stationed in what was later to become Slovak territory in March 1939 will also have been integrated into the Slovak army. The allegation made at times, the Praga Avenue was a passenger car variant of the off-road truck Praga RV, only a car body was placed on the chassis of the Praga RV truck, similar to the car variants of the Krupp Limber happened, is not true. Praga Avenue and RV had the same engine, but the Praga Avenue was built much more gracefully than the Praga RV. The dimensions of both vehicle types, length, width, wheelbase, curb weight and payload, show considerable differences. The gearbox wasn't the same either. A Praga Avenue has survived to this day and is said to be on display in the Military Technical Museum in Lini, Vojensk Technik Museum Lini.